OpenAI's ChatGPT has been the talk of the tech world this past week. There has been a lot of hype about this new chatbot and a lot of expectations. People are saying it can replace Google search. People are calling it the best AI or bot ever created. But is it really all those things, or is this all just a bunch of fluff and hype? I had to see for myself. So to figure out if it was what people are saying it is, I had to explore what it's like behind the scenes. ChatGPT is a large language model. You can think of this as a complex scoring system. It takes the text you input and scores it based on what sounds like the most natural language or real-world conversation between two people. That has been trained to generate human-like responses to text input. Architecturally, ChatGPT works by taking the input text and feeding it through a series of layers, each of which processes the input and passes it on to the next layer. These layers can sometimes be referred to as the neural network, which mimics those in your physical brain. The first layer of the model is the input layer, which takes the raw text input and converts it into a numerical representation that the rest of the model can understand. This is typically done using a technique called word embedding. You can think of this as in which each word in the input is represented by a fixed length vector of numbers. That scores the row on several attributes to make an extremely smart guess at what is intended by the use of the word, as one word can sometimes mean several things. The next layer of the model is the encoder, which is also referred to as the hidden layer, which processes the input vectors and encodes them in a way that captures the meaning and the context of the input. This is typically done using a technique called attention. Don't overthink this one. Artificial attention is just like human attention. It focuses on text input word by word and phrase by phrase until it gains a full understanding, in which the model focuses on different parts of the input at different times in order to better understand the overall meaning of the input or your question. The final layer of the model is the decoder, which generates a response to the input. It's also known as the output layer. This is typically done using a technique called beam search. This is also known as a heuristic function, which is Greek for I find, discover. It is a technique to quickly solve problems and searches. It is meant to bring back the closest answer or solution in as little as time as possible. ChatGPT, in which the model generates multiple candidate responses and then selects the best one based on a scoring function. After the attention technique is applied, ChatGPT has a pretty solid idea of what you want, and it uses its trained model to give you an answer based on said scoring. The model is trained using the infinite data of the internet, like Google search on steroids. Overall, ChatGPT uses a combination of these techniques to generate human-like responses to input text. It can turn your text into code, it can turn it into a paragraph, and it can even write a whole web page. It's a pretty cool technology, and you all should try it out.
Let's give ChatGPT a test run. I'm going to ask about code and see the response I get. Pretty generic response, but notice how it's an open-ended question to me, keeping the state of the conversation, not acting as though I haven't already asked a question. I'm going to ask for a sample code for an HTML web page. That's pretty impressive. Now let's see if it can help me write a title to this video while I'm at it. Not bad at all. I'll probably use one of these and remix it. What about a description? That was not what I was looking for, but a description nonetheless. I'll write that on my own. But you can see just how robust the responses can be and the endless possibilities of results.